So hey guys, I'm here with Eric Peterson. We're in his basement. He has a 2-rail O-scale layout. So Eric, how you doing?
Good. Glad to have you here.
I appreciate you letting me check out your layout and show the guys on my channel. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I was born in the Detroit area, and I went to school at Michigan Tech in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and ended up firing a steam locomotive up there on weekends a couple times, and so that kind of got me really interested in model railroading beyond what my dad and I had done modeling in O-scale for many years.
Oh, that's cool. I think we all have our different backgrounds and reasons for getting in the hobby. That's really interesting. And I think I remember you said you worked for CSX?
I worked for CSX, and before that I worked for the RF&P at Potomac Yard. And right out of school I went to work for Autotrain, the original Autotrain.
Wow.
When it was first being built. And so I went to work in September, and the terminal at Lorton, maybe grading had just started, and we ran the first train out of that terminal December 6th.
Wow.
Same year, 1971. I stayed there for a year or two, and then I went to Potomac Yard and worked for the RF&P. And then I went to work for Chessie, later to be CSX. So we went to Punxsutawney, we went to Pittsburgh, Huntington, West Virginia, Columbus, Ohio, Livonia, Michigan, and then Jacksonville for about 25 years before I retired in 2008.
Wow, rich railroad history. So what made you choose 2-rail O-scale?
The Detroit Model Railroad Club was a big influence. The Detroit Club is one of the oldest clubs in the country, going back to, I believe, about 1935 when the NMRA was started. In fact, they're celebrating their 90th year this year. And so my dad knew some of the people, and we would go and visit the club every once in a while. But then in the 70s, they bought a small town theater.
Yes.
And filled it with O-scale. And they still own that theater, and it is a beautiful layout. So some of the people there were especially good at speaking with me, showing me around, and they really kind of got me interested in it. And so probably much to my dad's disappointment that I switched from HO to O-scale. Actually, when I was in married student housing, I built the first Walther's passenger car I ever built. So wow. It was, that started me.
That's cool. It really is. I hope to get up to the convention this year and see that layout at that theater. How big is this layout?
This layout right now is 19 by about 41 feet.
Wow.
It was for many years 19 by 25. This is the 5th basement that I've had a layout in. If you count the first loop of track on a ping pong table in a rented house.
Okay.
And it's been in 2 garages as well. So it's moved a lot. And after this move, because we found this basement in this particular room, as you know and have helped, we've expanded the layout and added a passenger terminal and a small town someday for switching. And so it's just been a great adventure. But the biggest lesson here as I look back since we moved in 2017 is it's really good that this basement wasn't any bigger, because this is plenty big.
And it is a big layout.
It's a lot of work, and we've accomplished a tremendous amount since we've been here.
So along those lines, how long have you been working on it?
Well, let's see. I first built that, a smaller loop with that mountain over there, and probably about 1978,
okay,
79, something like that. And then we moved to Huntington, West Virginia, and the garage was 19 by 25.
Okay.
So guess how big the layout was? The layout was 19 by 25.
Yeah.
But 2 sections on the end, right over there, where it's narrow, could be taken down so we could get the car in the layout, in the center of the garage.
That's understandable.
And I've always had the layout high like this, and it started out in that garage. We had a small 15-foot boat on a trailer, And by taking the wider part of the layout over there and suspending it from the ceiling on the outer edge, I could slide the boat under the layout enough to get the car still in the garage. So, and I've never regretted having relatively high, having layout at high levels.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
even for people like you. Now, some people come and they can't even, they can see this, but some of the other places we have to get them a stool or a platform to stand on. But
Yeah, my followers know that, or at least I've told them several times, my layout is 54 inches high. So works out for a tall guy, plus you got storage underneath.
right.
So last question before we move around, what operating system do you use?
Well, I'm using NCE for track power,
Okay.
and I use Soundtrack's TSU 4400s for decoders. This layout, when it was moved this last time, we set each layer, it's built in sections to make it easy to move.
Okay.
And so we set each section on its side, ripped out the old wiring and rewired it for DCC and to have a signal system someday, CMRI, Bruce Chubb's CMRI signal system. So a lot of that wiring has been done, but we got a lot more work to do.
Yeah. Well, enough with the questions. Can we see it run?
Sure.
This is a very nice layout. He's firing it up now. Now, you guys that follow me know that I run in scale, so I don't know how to act around this big stuff. I got a couple of big GEs down here he's fired up.
Yeah, we just put decoders in these, so we haven't really reset the sound system and calmed it down to where and the CVs aren't all set up, but they're close enough that they'll run together. They don't have any momentum in them right now.
There's a yard up here. Okay, we're on the way. Right, it's gonna come out on the other side underneath that bridge over there. Oh. There we go. There it is over there. Really impressive seeing these large scales run. How much detail he has in this layout. So it's climbing right now. Dan down there in the corner. Say hi, Dan. Again, this is a really neat layout. Excuse me. I'm glad that Eric allowed me to show it to you guys. He's moving a passenger train down here now. He even has a lunar light going in the nose. So Eric, do you have operating sessions?
We've done a couple. We're able to have 3 crews.
Okay.
One worked the yard here and then ran some mainline trains.
Okay.
One worked the passenger terminal over here. And one worked the town over there doing local switching.
Okay.
So we ran a local out of the yard over there and back. And ran a few passenger trains as well as swapping cars in the passenger trains.
All right.
Forgot we had that other.
Yeah, the other one down there. Yeah. Good stop. It could have been some Addams Family action, huh?
Yeah, look at that Mars light on the front.
Yeah, I was checking that out when it came around. Oh, why lit up red?
Stop when it goes red.
That's neat.
I got a cut of cars back in.
Okay. Lining up the switches and gonna bring this train back through the yard. It's sitting out here on the main. This train right here. one thing filming this O scale as opposed to my N scale. I don't have to do a lot of zooming for you guys to see the train. Old scale trains are kind of heavy, so it really sounds realistic when they're rolling down the clickety clack on the tracks. It's pretty neat when they cross diamonds and switch tracks. But hey, Eric, I'm gonna wrap this video up, and I really appreciate you allowing me to video your layout and share it with my followers.
Right.
Appreciate
Glad to help.
you.
Glad to help out. Glad to have you here, and thanks for your help.
All right, I appreciate it. And fellas, don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell your friends about it. See you in the next video.